The end of the Big 12 isn't as close as we originally thought. How many of the schools are playing on the same team to keep the conference together?
Many believe what was caught on tape is evidence of faulty equipment or bad training.
Topeka police tell us that the driver turned off of 10th Avenue onto Kansas Avenue and ended up right here on the sidewalk, all before running a man over and then just taking off. Many fans from Kansas come down here without tickets, so many just go right to the box office where they still have tickets available. 26 live at 10. A Milwaukee man in trouble with the law for shooting his lawnmower with a sawed-off shotgun. The reason? It wouldn't start. Reporter Mick Trevey spoke to his neighbors about this unusual crime. This is a home neighbors tell us she came to every day. She wasn't even living here, but she came here daily to feed the cats. Neighbors are also upset with management because they told them over and over that this house was a health hazard. So we asked property owner Alan Murphy. Do you feel responsible for what happened? No. You don't feel responsible at all?
Fox 4's Mitch Weber is working for you tonight with why the video might actually lead to an investigation. Mitch, what is this all about?
Well, the 14-minute video surfaced just days after that deadly fire, and many believe what was caught on tape is evidence of faulty equipment or bad training. The video is now in the hands of city officials who promise to take action.
What the video shows is 14 minutes of no water being put on the fire.
This is home video of the 4th of July fire that damaged Old Geezer's Mantiques in downtown Weston.
We live for that store.
Owner George Treese was inside the burning building as firefighters from Weston and West Platte arrived to battle the blaze.
How awful it must have been for George to have been in there. And I only hoped and prayed that he had passed out before he died.
Jennifer Kerper lived with George for the last 4 years. She has watched this video many times.
Something was wrong, either with the truck or with the training of the personnel.
And she believes there was more to blame for George's death than just the fire.
You can see 3 or 4 times with just a little bit of water being dispersed. Wouldn't have been enough to, I mean, we really felt like a bucket brigade would have done a better job.
We watched the video, which you now have in your hands.
Jennifer, along with more than 24 concerned community members, went before the city council looking for answers. Did the fire equipment or the hydrants around town actually work?
I want to see a written evaluation of that truck and why that water was not dispersed from that truck.
The council promised to watch the video, then suggested the group to take their concerns to the Fire District Board, which frustrated the group even more.
I think they're going to sweep it under the carpet.
The group told me they will attend that fire meeting at the end of July. Fox 4 reached out to West Pratte Fire Chief. She wouldn't go on camera, but she told me she will respond to the concerns once she has watched the video. Mitch Weber, Fox 4, working for you. A single vegetable.
39. He doesn't know how many potatoes he needs.
8 Kansas City churches.
41. And is that all of them then?
Hundreds of volunteers.
45.
You know, really, it just takes a lot of people pitching in and wanting to do it.
Oh, yeah. The statewide mission program today for all United Methodist churches. Now, you notice here we drew in 3 or 4 non-United Methodist churches because they wanted to do the same thing, so we said, why not?
St. James United Methodist Church provided the drop location for 43,000 pounds of Wisconsin-grown potatoes.
They're nutritious, delicious, and they're common. Everybody knows how to fix a potato.
This is the first one we've done at St. James. It was important that we do the St. James in this neighborhood so that people could see that we're in the business of stepping outside the walls and helping other people.
But I think there's supposed to be 15.
Donetta Shaner coordinated before and during the potato drop.
Kind of what I do, mostly run around. Yes, giving orders, the big boss, you know, so people are very good about that, though. But as you can see, they organize themselves, too.
There's no doubt that what's in these bags will touch many families in the Kansas City metro, but it's this process that will touch just as many.
And I love getting different groups of people together, cross lines, state lines, cross racial lines, cultural lines.
This is wonderful work because, especially right now, there's a lot of hungry people in this town and across this country.
A homegrown event which provides a need which unfortunately is always in season. Mitch Weber, Fox 4 News, working for you in Kansas City, Missouri. Mary, investigators left just a few minutes ago. Now, officers were called here around noon today, and once they arrived, police discovered a woman's body inside one of these rooms, unresponsive. KCMO police tell us they are investigating this as a homicide. The victim's name has not been released as officers try to contact her family. Police are also not releasing the exact cause of death. I did speak to a woman who has stayed here all weekend. She wouldn't go on camera, but she told me she is trying to find a new place right now to stay because she is so shook up. Now, back out here live, Relax Inn was the scene of a murder in April of last year when a woman's body was found burned. Now, Fox 4 has reached out to management here at Relax Inn, and our calls have not been returned. And of course, if you have any information that might help police, you are asked to call the TIPS hotline. That number 816-474-TIPS. And of course, trust Fox 4 to keep you updated on this developing story, both on air and online. Mitch Weber, Fox 4, working for you live in Kansas City, Missouri.
Hearing from people close to Wendy Brown who say she has a history of lying. NBC26 reporter Mitch Weber continues our live team coverage with more on Brown.
This is not the picture of Wendy Brown that could have ended up in the yearbook at Ashwaubenon High School. The 33-year-old fooled not only school officials, but her husband James.
I love my wife with all my heart.
James hasn't talked to his wife Wendy since it went public. She pretended to be a new student using her 15-year-old daughter's identity. Her husband wants to know why. This is a place she rented with her husband, which is directly across the street from the school that she attended for only one day.
We've got kids in our high schools that look 12 years old. We got them look 40 years old. And this person was dressed like an adolescent.
But her adult actions before this is what put her behind bars and kept her from the second day of school. Her previous landlord, Darren DeWitt, contacted police after he caught her impersonating him and his wife.
She's a good liar, I know that.
Did she look like a teenager to you?
No, I thought she was probably closer to 40.
And we showed her mugshot to a cheerleader who was walking by in the last hour, and she said the cheer squad thought the same thing. When questioned, Wendy Brown told them she looked like this because of sun damage. In your corner in Ashwaubenon, Mitch Weber, NBC26. His mother believes it was more than luck. She believes he has a guardian angel looking out for him. And by the looks of the Fox River tonight, you might have to agree with her. The 10-year-old boy was down here playing by these raging waters when curiosity turned into chaos. This site created a flood fascination for a group of boys living near the Fox River in KAUKAUNA. For 10-year-old Aaron Marker, that fascination ended as quickly as it began.
I was over by the river with some of my friends checking out how it was. Then some water splashed my leg, and I fell in. My whole life flashed before my eyes. It was really rushing fast, way over 20 miles per hour, I'd say.
His brother and two friends on shore were as helpless as he was in the raging river.
I was rushing down the river. Those guys were chasing me, trying to keep up, and I managed to hang on to a tree branch.
KAUKAUNA utility workers nearby came to the rescue and pulled him to safety.
Just a stuffy nose and a little lack of energy, but other than that, I'm okay.
I'm just glad to have my baby.
Neighbors we talked to, not surprised. They've warned the kids before.
I've seen him down there a couple times. I just yelled at him to get off them rocks. He was right by the edge there. I didn't want him to fall in.
And I almost lost him because he wouldn't listen.
You've been told not to go by the river before.
Yeah, but I guess I didn't listen.
Are you going to listen now?
Yes.
And even tonight, you can see how turbulent the river is. KAUKAUNA officials worry that if the flooding continues, it's only going to stay like this for the rest of the summer. They also want this to be a reminder to everyone to stay away from these dangerous currents. Mitch Weber, NBC26, live in KAUKAUNA. Many fans from Kansas come down here without tickets, so many just go right to the box office where they still have tickets available. Others will try their luck out here on the street with the scalpers. And as I found out today, those with the most to sell have the most to lose. Fans for both Kansas teams without tickets took their chances on the way to the Ford Center for today's games.
First round is kind of slow because it's a cheap ticket. No, they got tickets in the window.
While looking for fans, I ran into this guy, or I should say he ran into me. He wouldn't give me his name, but as this video shows, I definitely got his number. He is just one of many others selling tickets for what they claim is a great deal, even though they wouldn't do a transaction with me watching. Why don't you guys talk to me?
I don't want you filming me, man, without my permission.
His buddy tried to block me from getting video of a possible deal.
He wanted to film you, man. You want to be filmed? No, I don't want to be filmed, sir.
You have tickets?
No.
You plan on getting tickets?
Yes.
How do you plan on getting tickets?
I don't know.
What about these gentlemen over here? Are they trying to talk you into getting tickets?
Yeah.
What are they selling them for?
Like 60 each. Yeah.
Is that face value? Clay and his family finally got their tickets, not from a scalper, but rather Sean Norman's ticket business.
Try not to associate ourselves with too many of the street people. I mean, we're a legitimate business, been in business for over 8 years.
Yeah, the real story never gets out. So.
What is the real story? I'll get it out.
It's just about supply and demand. People about the cost of tickets, but
no.
Yeah. I guarantee you one thing though: the hotels aren't the same price this week as they were last week either.
But one KU fan didn't care if this group was legit. So how'd you do?
I done good. I got face value. Yeah.
So
lower level, center court, face value.
Many fans believe they do get good deals outside of the Ford Center from those selling here on the street. But remember, anything over face value is against the law. Reporting from Oklahoma City, Mitch Weber, 27 News.